Okay, well, first and foremost, I just want to say my usual partner in conversation couldn't make it tonight, so my good pal Brucey has jumped in to chat up. So, James Doolan, head coach, higher level. We've just arrived at your brand new facility here in Bathgate. You've just moved from Whitburn. Was this always the main goal, or do you see this as just another stepping stone in the build up of the gym?
I think it probably was like the main goal, just to have this space and whatever in the facilities. But as soon as we kind of settled in, I'm already planning ahead. I think I'm maybe looking at keeping this place as like a headquarters and maybe opening in some other locations. I've got some younger lads that I'm bringing through as coaches that could go and coach at a good standard in other places. So cool. I think so. I think so. Good.
I mean, you were just saying there that you've over 200 people or something like that at your open day for this gym. So it's obviously kind of just there's been a. What do you think's been the increase? Do you think it's just a level popularity in general for MMA?
I think the sport's grown massive with the UFC coming to Glasgow last year and then 2 years previous. I think we were busy up at the other gym, but there was definitely people coming in and it was claustrophobic, and the facilities were starting to deteriorate a wee bit just because of the amount of work we'd done in the place. So I think this place is it's a wee bit more friendly. Like you come in, it's clean, it's brand new.
Yeah.
It's actually a wee bit more accessible as well for the motorway for some guys. So I don't know if it's maybe just a combination of the rise of the sport and also just taking a risk and getting to a more kind of public friendly facility, whereas the last gym was like a bit of a cave for fighters. It was It was a den.
Yeah. I mean, for them that's maybe not too familiar with maybe not MMA in general, but the type of coaching you do, what kind of classes, if somebody's kind of interested in coming along, what kind of classes are you offering here if they've maybe not checked out already?
We have Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission wrestling and MMA. We're predominantly we're an MMA gym.
Right.
We've had a fair amount of success with MMA athletes and stuff, but we've been moving more in towards Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now. We've got 2 black belts, myself and one of the other coaches here's a black belt now. There's less than 20 black belts in Scotland, and we've got 2 of them under the same roof. And Jiu-Jitsu is growing massively. The competition scene in Scotland's getting pushed. The self-defence aspect for it. We just had our first kids class tonight for Jiu-Jitsu and stuff.
Excellent.
So we're trying to grow that now as well as the MMA side of stuff.
And what ages is the kids class then?
That was 6 to 11.
6 to 11
tonight. We've got a good group of younger lads as well, at 14, 15s, but they train in aside some of the later teens and the early 20s.
Cool.
See, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is that your kind of favourite? How did you get into it?
Initially it was karate as a kid. I was like 8 years old. I was getting bullied at school.
Right.
I had issues with my confidence. I was terrible, low self-esteem and whatever.
Did you decide to start karate? Was that your parents that thought that? Did they see something that, as you as a young kid, did they try and push you into that in order to do it? Or did you feel as if even at that age you wanted to pursue that?
It was my dad. My dad actually trained in karate as well. He was a black belt in karate, and I'd pestered him to start it, and he never kind of let me into it. But then when they seen I was having issues with no wanting to go to school and no wanting to come out my bedroom and whatever else, I eventually just took me along, and then after that it was me like, you need to take me tonight, and I've been doing it ever since. Excellent.
I mean, what was happening at school? Do you know what I mean? It's obviously different back in your day and age compared to what it is now. I mean, now it's, I should probably agree that I'm sure I've spoken about this before, like it's 24/7 now, but I think when we were at school, it's like, because I went through a similar thing of bullying and stuff like that, slightly older than 8 years old, but you went to school, it happened at school, when you got home that was it, it was over. But now social media, texting, it's 24/7, do you know what I mean? So I mean, what was your experience with it?
Exactly what you said. I was getting it at school, just daft reasons really. I was like the only Celtic supporter in the class, so I was getting it for religion. I mean, I wasn't from a religious family. I was just my uncles and my dad was a Celtic supporter, so I grew up one. when that didn't work, it would be daft things like you've not got the best trainers, so you're this or that.
Typical.
And I think, for what I remember, it's a long time ago. For what I remember, it almost went through a rotation in the class, and this definitely happened with my little brother, who was a year younger, but he was completely different from me. It's like everybody almost got a turn of getting bullied, but some of the other guys would say, no, I'm not having this, and stand up for themselves, or it just didn't work with them, whereas I was like, oh shit, and then it just kept going after that. It's like I didn't really know how to deal with it or how to talk to it, or do you know what I mean? It just kept, it spiralled and spiralled and spiralled.
Aye.
I ended up moving school. I moved to ended up in St Mary's in Lanark, and then eventually going to St Aidan's when my brother stayed at the Carstairs Village Primary School, and
right.
he was like the most popular guy in his class and stuff like that, and funny and all that, whereas I was just introverted, pretty quiet. I didn't mind being on my own. I'd rather sit and read a book or whatever. Do you know what? So I was a pretty much an easy target, but when it got to my turn in the rotation to get bullied, it just stuck on me. But it is. I've got a 12-year-old son now, and he's aware of bullying, because I talk to him about it. I'm terrified of him getting bullied.
Understandable, yeah.
I try and involve him in martial arts. I drum into him that he should never bully anybody. If he sees somebody getting bullied, or a kid sitting on his own, he needs to go and talk to him. And he's a good kid, him. But the thing with the social media thing, I remember as soon as the bell went at 3 o'clock running home, and that was me. Till I didn't have to worry until the next day. But with him, he's on Instagram. They're on the Xbox. They've got the mic'd up. They're talking to each other the whole time, and
it's putting themselves out there all the time, innit?
It's horrific.
My wee boy's nearly 4, and there's that fine line. It's like, I mean, he's only at nursery, so we don't even know the half of it yet. But you're like, there's a fine line where you should never hit MD. You should never put your hands in MD. But then there's a fine line, if somebody does that to you, what do you tell him? Not to stand up for himself, not to. So, how do you judge that? How do you put that forward that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really tricky subject, that one. Rory's had a couple issues where he's been in a situation, and he's hit the guy first, and he's got in trouble for the school and stuff. When I go to get him, I'm like, I need you to tell me what happened, and he's like, look, it was either him or me. And I was like, well, that's fine. Don't hit him, and that's it. You don't need all your pals kicking some guy about the ground, or that's it, done, and stuff like that. He was exposed to, the first year at Lanark Grammar, he's seen a couple older boys fighting, so I think he's not really got an idea of violence. He's seen kids scuffling in the playground at primary school, and they're rolling about and whatever else. But I think on his first or second day at Lanark Grammar, he's seen a boy for Riggs Side fighting with a boy for Lanark, and it was the older boys, so they're like almost 16, so they're a bit more developed.
Aye.
And he's came home, and there's one of the boys has been bleeding or whatever, and he's been shocked by it, because it's like probably his first exposure to actual violence up close and personal, not in a film or watching UFC. And he's come home and he's like, I need to train more, I need to do this, I need to, like, you can see something in him. I don't know if it's just because he's a wee boy and it's a natural thing, but he was really inquisitive about stuff after seeing that. And he's had a couple issues where he's come home with, there's a video on Instagram of one of his wee pals getting shoved, and everybody laughed, and I'm like,
that's how it starts.
That's on Instagram and that. Jeez.
And I'm like, well, that's bad. Whoever's filming that's just as bad as the guy doing it.
Absolutely.
I was like,
it's pretty stupid to put it up there as well.
Yeah, this kid got in trouble for it. Like, try to make sure he's got it in his head that's not nice. It's not, definitely not funny. It's bad. It's just, and it can spiral to worse stuff for that kid.
I mean, see, even, obviously you've been through that bullying kind of side of things. See, even now, see, what's that, about 25 years later, there's a still part of you that's held on to that. Do you mean, there's still that hits home? I mean, have you managed throughout the years, because of martial arts, because of other avenues, have you managed to let all of that go? Is there still something there that's still is part of your personality? I think some of it's definitely ingrained in my personality to an extent. I'm still pretty quiet. I can coach in there in front of groups of 60 people. I've walked professional fighters out into arenas with 16,000 people at the Hydro to fight the best fighters in the world and stuff, but there's still a bit in me that's just like a scared wee boy, do you know what I mean? It's just like, and there's a hatred for bullying in me because it, and
I think that pretty much drove me when I was competing as a martial artist. It was that fear of that being that scared wee boy again that drove me into it. But it's definitely affected me even to this day. I think I can control it and I'm aware of it, and I've came out the other side of it. Definitely, I'm a lot mentally stronger and stuff. I've dealt with other stuff in life that I've had to deal with, and stuff that I probably grew for the bullying. But there's definitely issues there where, like, if I see the kids that bullied me even now, I'm like, oh. Do you know what I mean?
I'm the exact same. Do you know what I mean? I drive through, I won't mention any where I've stayed, but you drive through certain areas where I've stayed before, and you'll see some of the same faces. And actually, I've met people that I've had altercations with, be it 20 years ago, and they'll come up and chat to me as if
nothing happened,
and I'm like that. I'm just a fury inside me going, I can't let that go. That grudge is still there, and I can't believe that you think everything's all right. But is that my fault? Is that
that'll be in their head as well? Surely.
Do you know?
I would imagine.
I mean, what else have I got?
They must remember.
Even at that, even 2 years of martial arts, do you feel like you get judged being a martial artist and people just assume that you've not had to deal with any of this kind of stuff in your life?
I think so. I think they just expect like you're some kind of hard man or something. Do you know what I mean? But the best martial artists I've ever came across are 100% not like that. You get one or two that come in, they're naturally like that, but most of these guys they've developed through insecurity or problems, and they've just channeled it into martial arts, and it's gave them a level of confidence and control with themselves and whatever else. But going back on what you were saying there, I started coaching about 18 or 19. Right. My coach, I had a coach for Coatbridge called Gordon Russell, and he was excellent for me as a 16-year-old. He's phenomenal as a martial artist, but he took me under his wing. I still had issues with confidence and stuff, and he taught me how to be confident and stuff like that without being arrogant and whatever else. And he started getting me coaching, and by the time I got to 18, 19, some of these guys that had bullied me early on in high school and stuff started coming to the classes I was teaching.
Really?
I'm like, this could be the best night of my life. I'm just beat him up, and then I'm thinking to myself, that wouldn't make me a better person, really. So I've let them in and whatever else. But I knew they wouldn't last. Like, they came along and stuff, but it was weird. It was like weird. I'm going to fucking kill them, but I've let it slide. But I think I can't remember what the question was now. I think that, like what I was saying there, the guys I've got in here who are not successful in terms, everybody's successful when they've been at it for a while. They're personal levels of success and stuff, but the strongest people I've seen through martial arts are guys who've came through, they've been bullied or they've had bad upbringings, issues with parents or whatever, abuse or anything like that, and they've channeled it, and they become really nice people. Do you know what I mean? They'll do anything for you.
Do they, when they start martial arts, when they come along, do they tell you that from the beginning, or do you notice a kind of similar pattern with these guys that maybe, after a while, you maybe don't want to ask them straight off the bat, but do you ask them from, or do they come forward to you and say, listen, this has happened to me, this is why I'm here, or who's forthcoming with that info?
That it really just depends on the individual. Some guys will come in and they'll say to you, like, or maybe you'll get their parents bringing them, or do you know what I mean, or others, and then other guys will come in and they'll not say anything, but if you've got an eye for it, you can see it. Like,
you'll know
there's something not right with this kid, or this young adult, or whatever. And it's important that you make an effort with these people, and you treat them the same as everyone else in here. We have a kind of mentor system in here where I've got some high level athletes here, like they're relatively famous. A couple of them are going to be in like the EA Sports UFC game next year and stuff.
So who's that? I mean, I know who you've got under, but for people watching, people listen, who have you got at a higher level that's...
right now I've got Stephen Ray, who's a UFC lightweight. He's had 8 fights in the UFC. Right. He was a double world champion at Cage Warriors, a BAMA champion. He's due to fight in 2 weeks. He's fighting in Canada. I'm away to go and corner him.
Excellent.
And I've got Danny Henry, a boy from Edinburgh, who's 2-0 in the UFC now. Fought in the Hydro, and he fought again in the London card. He's a world champion. He fought in South Africa 8 times in a couple of years.
And that was that the EFC?
Yeah, he was a champion there. So, and then before that, previous to that, I'd coached Joanne Calderwood, before she went into the Ultimate Fighter, and she was like ranked number 2 in the world at the time.
Right.
So we've got that level of guy in here, but these guys take care of everybody who come the next level down and the next level down, and they've built a wee community in here. So when kids come in, they look up to the next level up. It's like the amateur fighters, and then the amateurs look up to the pro guys, and then everybody's got their eyes on these guys at the top. And they all geese on back. They all come in. They've got obviously got them talk to that guy, make sure he's cool, and they know what's going on with each other outside and stuff. They look after each other. So
even when you were a young coach, was that something you found hard to deal with? If somebody came in and said they had had a bad upbringing or they had problems at school, they've been bullied, did you think, hold on, am I equipped to deal with that? Is that something you've grown to accept and get far better at the time, or was that quite worrying for you at the beginning when people were coming into your gym from that kind of background?
Yeah, it took a while to get used to. I think I've matured into it a little bit. I could see it like as a young coach, and I could relate to it maybe a wee bit easier back then because it was still a wee bit fresher for me. But I think I'm better at it now. I can spot it, and I can probably deal with people now. And plus, I think when they're dealing with me, they know I'm not just a young guy anymore with some ideas and stuff. They know that I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I've had success. I've got maybe 120 students now and stuff like that, so that they can be a wee bit more confident. And there's a track record for what I'm saying to them now, instead of just being a wee young 18-year-old guy who could just be talking a lot of rubbish. Yeah.
Do you still get as many people just training recreationally as many people wanting to possibly have an amateur fight or going to fight pro, or aspirations to be world champion?
Yeah, we had a funny balance here for a while where more than 50% of the guys were wanting to fight, and it was a conscious effort when we moved down here, like I was saying with the jiu-jitsu, to move away from that, just dealing with fighters. I want to be able to help anybody. So like if we've got guys in here, the kids classing out for 6 years old, we've got some kids who train with us on a weekly basis at 13 years old. We've got guys all the way up to like 65 for every walk of life you can imagine.
Excellent.
So we just try and provide an environment. Basically when they come in, they switch off for a couple of hours. They can have a laugh, they can train, they can listen to whatever daft music's on at the time, they can learn stuff, get sweaty with each other, and then they just leave whatever problems they've got outside, whether it's work or relationships or money or anything. They can leave it for an hour or 2 hours and then just go out feeling better. And that's what I got from martial arts coming up. So that's how I got away from the bullies. I that hour in the gym doing karate, going up and down the hall, throwing punches or whatever, was the only time my head was clear for that stuff.
I can certainly attest to that. Like, you know, almost a decade ago when I came to start training, to be honest, I came late in the game for wanting to come and train any kind of martial arts. I hated going to the gym. I wanted to come to a fight gym, and if I was going to exercise, I wanted to be boxing or Thai boxing, and it was just recreational. I had no aspirations to become a fighter or anything like that. But I think possibly I was about 26, I think, when I started, and I came with a couple of my friends, and I was terrified. First time I thought about coming to the gym, I was terrified because I thought, I'm going to go up here, it's going to be like the saloon doors are going to open, everything's going to stop, people are going to turn around and judge me. Do you know what I mean? I was fucking shite myself. And I think I possibly put it off once or twice for doing it. I'd come up with some silly excuse, I can't make it, and blah, blah, blah.
That's common, that's really
and then
common.
Finally just get the courage to do so, and you get to that point, you step into the gym and you go, what the fuck was I worried about? Do you know what I mean? Because you've got people, that's the important thing, it's so relatable, and people, of course they don't judge you. You get one or two people that you don't speak to over the time, but that doesn't matter. That is just life, innit? Do you know? And ever since that, I think I came to one point I was training like 4 times a week, all through different things. And the only reason I stopped was because I moved further away from the gym.
It is addictive. It is that the first night's the hardest one, especially for young men. Like there's I don't know if it's a stigma or a stereotype, but they think they're going in this place, and especially with MMA, it's like the whole cage fighting and blood sport thing. They think they're going into this thing just with these mad skinhead tattooed nutters. But then when you come in, it can be the proper gyms anyway. Good gyms are going to be completely opposite for that. And once you do that first class, you get hooked with it, and then. It's just easy once you get in, but the first getting in the door the first time is definitely the hardest.
Do you get guys coming from other gyms that maybe tell you about other gyms? I've got certainly when I moved away, and and it was just a bit of a jaunt to come. And I regret that now, because what is 45 minutes in the car? Do you know what I mean? It's nothing when you do it, and that's the reason I want to get right back into it. But I had went to another gym, and I won't mention the name of it or the people I was training with, but it was completely different. I did start, but it all depended on the night you got the mood of the coaching.
Yeah.
You'd come in and be like, right, body sparring, and the coach would spar you, and he was just leathering you.
Yeah.
And I actually thought, because my wife done the class before me, and I was like, what? And she's looking over going, what the fuck is going on?
Paying this guy for this.
Aye, and I'm just getting, I'm getting leathered.
£30 to get your skull case in.
You know what I mean? And I thought, no, this isn't cool, and that kind of didn't last. But I thought, that's no cool that people are getting brought up
That is mental.
through these gyms, and you've got coaches like that.
Yeah, it's probably more common than what you think. We have guys here for everywhere. We had a thing on Facebook last year where one of the guys that does our social media came in and he just asked everybody for their postcode, and he pinned it, and it came up a wee map of Scotland, and we've got guys for Fife, guys for Edinburgh, this side, the far side, we had guys for Cumnock coming through, we've got Coatbridge with Lanark, with obviously the local boys, this side of Glasgow with Clydebank, with a guy coming for Ballock, and you know, this is one class he came to. So people, the atmosphere we had at the old gym is because people were drawn to it and the reputation of the gym, but there is those gyms where you go in and it's like a meat grinder, and you're like,
Aye.
what? This is a guy with an ego who's for some reason is just going to bar me and take my £6 off me or whatever. Like he's not.
That's what I always thought when I was a wee guy.
He's not got a clue. We've got a couple. Again, I won't mention the name, but I've got a 22-year-old kid in here who he's had 14 fights with a previous gym.
Right.
He's won one of them and lost 13 of them. Right, and this other gym were just throwing him in. And the kid initially, would right, I'll do it. I'll go in.
I admire his tenacity in that respect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
it's affected this kid. Like I can see it in him. I'm looking at him thinking this coach has not got an idea of what he's done to this kid's mentality. He's almost drilled it into him that it's alright for him to go in and lose, not to prepare right, not to do your best, just turn up and lose. And I'm like, that's going to affect every other area of this kid's life.
Absolutely.
It enrages me, do you know what I mean? I'm like, the kid's dead quiet and you hardly got a word out of him now, but before he started that, he was like this wee outgoing guy. He brought all his pals to the first fight, and it's just because some idiot, he's went to the wrong club, maybe not being aware of what's happening, they've chucked him into this cage in front of people, pissed at their head or whatever, and this other guy who's maybe been trained proper just took him out. And it angers me when I see this kid. I'm like, that's not the same kid I knew, but he's here now, but it's like I'm trying to do a patch-up job on the kid, you know what I mean? I'm like, right, first thing is you're not going to be competing for 2 years. I need to build your confidence up, so we can do some grappling stuff. I'll get them involved with other guys and stuff like that. But these guys, like when you go to a class and some coach beats the shit out of you, they've no idea what they're doing to that person and how they're making them feel and how they're stripping them to bits, really. And they go home and they feel worse, and they go to work next day and they feel worse. Where they should be coming in here and enjoying it and feeling better about themselves when they leave, not getting fucking physically assaulted off some idiot.
I mean, that must have been fucking twice as hard for you, having to physically break his mentality down to get to that point before he started and then build him back up again. You know, the
kid's good. The kid's talented. Just like he stepped into those fights, and so he's not got an issue with gameness, but it's just this. It's definitely affected the boy's mentality. Now it's like you're going to lose when you compete. You're going to, at some point you're going to lose if you're competing at that level. But we didn't really ever tend to get guys completely outclassed. They compete well, and that's absolutely fine. There's positives to taking a loss if you've competed well. But this kid was just showing up and shutting down, it's what it's doing outside him with his relationships, and he can't look people in the eye when he's talking. It's fucked his self-esteem. And that was a big issue for me when he came in. This boy, like when he eventually came over, and he was another kid. He was messaging me on Facebook for a while before he came, and I was like, "You need to come, just come. You'll be fine." And I think he thought he was going to come in here, and the named fighters would have ran through him. But when he came in, I was like, I've nearly said the boy's name. Boy's coming in tonight, make an effort with him.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good addition to the team. I want him. He'll fit in and. The kid's excellent now. He's getting better and stuff, but it's like trying to undo that work just because he's some idiot who's taking money off him and chucking him into a cage to fight.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see how much responsibility you clearly take for not just being a coach fighting wise, but obviously like kind of in life.
Yep.
One thing I was going to ask you, see if you've got people coming in, you have recognised that they've maybe come from a bullying background.
Yep.
How do you basically train them but manage to keep them from just running about leathering baddies?
That's a worry. Like you get some guys in sometimes, you're like, I can't really weaponise this guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's basically what it is. I just get this guy this skill set, and then I'm reading about him in the paper that he's choked some guy unconscious or whatever. But this gym humbles you when you come in here. Like we get egos in here as well. The last place we were right next door to this big bodybuilding gym, all these mad steroid guys, and every now and then they'd come in and I'm going to try that jiu-jitsu, and I'd pick like a 70 kilo blue belt or purple belt with him and say, roll about with him, if anything's sore, just tap him and he'll let you go. And they never came back either. Like, what the fuck was that? But if you're training properly, it does humble you a wee bit. So, and there's a we drill into them, there's a responsibility with what you're training here. With
absolutely,
the kids class that we taught there's a lot of stuff left out. A lot of the techniques are just like, you can't show that to a wee boy or a wee girl. The teenagers, everyone's is monitored to an extent. With the adults, you keep setting stuff back for them until you trust them, if that makes sense. But then once you're like, right, this guy's not a bam pot, or he's no hell bent on revenge because he was getting bullied, you'll be like, right, this is how you'd finish this and this. But the process in the gym generally levels these guys out a wee bit. Like if they came into the gym thinking, I'm going to train, I'm going to get him back, eventually they'll be like, do you know what, that guy's done me a favour by bullying me. I found something that I love. I'm something that I'm passionate about. I'm getting on better with people. I don't care about that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And that tends to happen more than somebody coming in. I need you to train me because I'm going to batter this guy for down the road. But you need to be aware of it because you're teaching some pretty dangerous stuff.
Aye.
Is there any guys that they come in and they say, I want to fight? I mean, do you need to go through a process where you think, I realise this guy's wanting to fight for the complete wrong reasons? I don't mean out in the street, but it's just got that mentality. Do you refuse in that? Is there any situation where you've refused to do so and say, I can't do it? Yeah,
that's common as well. Right. Usually what I get is a Friday or a Saturday night at 2 a.m. Somebody messages me like, I want to try that cage fighting. So I'm not answering him. We've had guys come in before saying, I've took a fight on this fight show in Edinburgh in 8 weeks. I've not actually done any training before. I'm fighting this guy from England. Can you train me? And I'm like, definitely not in 8 weeks.
Is that like that, the charity matches and stuff?
All of them things, like I'm like, oh my God. But we get it. Normally I'll say, come in and let me have a look at you. And then they'll move a bit. And there's ways you can let them know like you're not ready to fight without being like that guy done to you and battering you to the body or anything. Like just have a wee move about with him, and one of the more experienced guys will just not let them touch him, or they'll frustrate them, or they'll maybe hold them on the ground. Like something friendly but uncomfortable. Or you can say to them, like, even with fitness stuff, you can come and do this circuit, and I was like, you're not fit enough to fight 3-minute rounds or 3-5s. Let's just keep training, then when you're ready I'll tell you. Normally the process in here is guys will start training, they'll express an interest in competing, whether it's jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or MMA, and then I'll say, right, well, me or the other coaches I'll have a look at you. And then what we did, we bring them in a group that's categorised with other people of their level, same size, they've been training the same amount of time, similar athleticism and whatever, and then we'll let them move about controlled, and then we'll get them a feel for it. And then the next step is I'll get somebody for another club, one of my pals' clubs, say, can you send a 70 kilo guy through maybe 2-3 years training to spar with this guy to see how he deals with somebody he doesn't know, and it's still all padded and stuff and it's controlled, and usually you can build them up that way so that by the time they do their first actual real fight, they've came up through levels and they're comfortable with it. But you do get some guys coming in like after the weekend, I just seen that McGregor fight and I'm good to go, I want to do this and I want to do that, and you're like, you have no idea what's involved in it. Like, and again, there's clubs out there that'll chuck the boys in, they don't care. It's like, right, sign up, give me your 70 quid a month or whatever, and at the end of it we'll chuck you into this fight. And again, there's just no responsibility there. That's the scary thing about it. It really is. And I've seen a couple, 1 or 2 clubs like that, and I guess boxing gyms are always like that. I don't really have any formal experience of going to a boxing gym, but anything I did hear from guys that have been there's always been that clique, and that you could never really go to a boxing gym to train recreationally like you can here, because they always just wanted you to fight, and if you weren't there to fight,
you weren't really welcomed, or you weren't really given much attention, or that kind of carry on. I don't know if that's true.
That's common.
You know,
usually what happens I went to some boxing gyms to help me with my boxing for MMA, and they weren't interested in me. A lot of time what you'll get with a boxing gym is, see if you're a kid, they'll be like, right, this guy could have a good run at the amateurs, could be British champion, whatever, and we'll do something with him. Whereas if you go in, if I'd never done anyone in at 30 years old, they're not going to be putting me in amateur. They're go and hit a bag and do some press ups. Do you know what I mean? They've no interest. It depends on the gym. So I mean, there's some good ones and like everything else, some bad ones, but it is quite common that boxing's got a different mentality for martial arts, I think, in some ways. In
a good way or a bad way, or you know what I mean?
Maybe both. Like some of the things for boxing are excellent. The work ethic and stuff with the guys is always good. If you get good boxing coaches, they tend to be excellent. But at the same time, they can be quite exclusive. They might not want you, and there's not a lot of girls doing boxing. There's a lot of kids are fine. There's not a lot of older guys doing stuff unless they've set up specific workout classes for them and stuff. But it's a little bit different. Whereas like I was saying, with the martial arts side of stuff, martial arts isn't something you're doing for a couple of years. If you do it right, it should be something you do for your whole life, and you can tailor it. Like I was doing harder styles before with the Thai and stuff, and then the MMA. And now that I'm getting a bit older, I'm just doing more jiu-jitsu. It's easier on my body. It keeps my mind active. There's a lot of problem solving with jiu-jitsu. So I'm not smashing myself all the time the way I was when I was younger. But again, boxing's a hard workout. There's only so much you can do with the circuit training, hit the bag, hit the pad, spar. Whereas like you can flow and do jiu-jitsu with, it's almost like a kind of dynamic, kind of fast yoga if you do it right.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, so as well as being you see a young coach at 18, you obviously had many fights. I think both in Muay Thai, I take it karate, Muay Thai, and then MMA.
Yeah.
Do you miss fighting?
I do actually. My plan at about 17 was to have one fight. I wanted to coach when I was a wee guy. Before I even get bullied, I wanted to be a karate coach like that.
Right.
I wanted to be a karate instructor. And then
was one of your favourite films a Karate Kid?
I've been thinking about Mr. Miyagi so much today, man.
all of those films. Like I wrote it in I think my mum still got my jotter for Kirstairs Primary School, and it was, my name is James. When I'm 8, when I'm an adult, I want to be a karate. Do you know that? She still got that somewhere.
Do you know the most relatable thing? Sorry, the most relatable thing is in that film Step Brothers. Yeah. See when they, you know what I mean? Let's go and do karate in the garage. That's exactly what I used to do with my pals and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I still do that. But that's I had one fight in it. I was terrified. I was absolutely shitting myself. Do you know? And I was like, I need to do this. If I want to coach people, it was like I need to overcome it. Do you know what I mean? I don't like confrontation. I don't like arguing with people. I would rather skip. I don't mind. I would skip that and just have the actual fight. But it's fine. I can deal with that. But I didn't like I just didn't even like arguing with anybody. I hate it, the verbal. But we've got some guys in here who work on the doors, and they're absolutely brilliant at arguing with people. and I'm not sitting back with a black belt and arguing with people. And I don't like it at all. I'm not comfortable with it. But I was terrified of confrontation, and I was like, but I couldn't coach this if I wasn't aware of it, if I hadn't experienced it. Yeah. So the karate stuff as a kid, I never really thought of that as real fighting. The rules were like you touch them and it was points, and there was no danger to it. But about 17 and a half, I signed up for this kickboxing fight in Sheffield, and I knew like if I make mistakes, I'm going to be unconscious. I'm going to get a sore face. I was fighting a Welsh boy, and I trained proper, and the whole 6, it was like a Rocky film. I was out running before work and all that stuff. I was like, this is dangerous. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? All the way up to the fight, what are you doing? And then on the night, I'm pretty sure I held my breath, shut my eyes, and just started swinging. It was sloppy, but thankfully I won. And then I'm like, oh, that wasn't too bad. And then I was like, that's me done. I've experienced it. Yeah. I've maybe beat someone I'm scared of. I can go and coach them. And then the next thing was I'm going to do that again. And then it ended up, by the time I was 19, I think I had 12 kickboxing fights, and then it was like, do you want to fight Muay Thai? At the time I had to travel to Craignook to teach or to learn Muay Thai, like the leg kicks and the knees and stuff. So I was like, right, let me get a couple of weeks training and then I'll do this. So I moved into that, and then I had another 12 fights there, and then the MMA thing came about, and then I was like, oh, that's what definitely I want to do. There's no rules. I was even more scared of that. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
I could properly get killed here. I was like, I'm going to do that. I'll do that. And then before you know it, I had 5 amateur fights in with 5 semi-pro fights, different rules. I went back to Thai and had a world title fight, and then I turned pro at MMA and had 30 pro MMA fights. I travelled all over the world. I was fighting all the way through uni for my kid being born. Pretty much from 2002 up to 2013 was my last fight, April. And then by the end of it, I was like, hey, that's me done with that. Like, do you know what I mean? I've done everything I need to do. I've won belts, I've travelled, my students are now winning belts. They're starting to surpass me now. I was like, right, I'm comfortable with fighting there. I'm not that scared of it anymore. I understand it. I'm aware that I should be scared of it. The thought of like having a street fight outside a chip here, that's still like, well, fuck that. But if it was like, you're meeting this guy at 3 o'clock and you're going to have a fight, I'd be like, right, I've got a strategy. This is
behind the bins.
This is absolutely fine. But that process has got that away from me. Like, I'm not scared of it anymore, but I still wouldn't stand and have an argument with somebody. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing that.
It's hilarious.
I'm not doing it.
It's quite a coincidence, as we were talking to somebody over that it's World Mental Health Awareness Day.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that Bruce was like to me, was that planned? I was like, no, it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? But it's such a coincidence it's happened. And the reason I'm saying that, because obviously there's a mental aspect to fighting. Everybody knows that. Is it worth taking a guess at what percentage would you say fighting is mental as compared to skill set or talent or just raw kind of gameness, as you would say?
It's massive. It's maybe 80% plus. I think once you start getting to the elite level of it as well, those guys are all athletically the same. They all know the same skill set wise. They're all very, very similar. They're all on the same diets. Everything's very, very close. And usually the factor might just be that the mindset or the mentality. Who's going to mentally break first? The way we approach fighting in here is you have to beat the person. You have to break him physically. Like, you have to shut his brain off or put him to sleep or catch him in a submission where he's like, right, my arm's going to break him out of here, or you have to break him mentally. And you see this in fights, and a lot of people don't understand it, but you can feel it actually when you're fighting. People have felt it before, where you can feel somebody giving up. Like, it sounds daft, but it's like their soul's leaving their body a wee bit. You're like, the fight's leaving them.
Right.
And then as a coach, I can see it as well. You can see people, they don't want to be here anymore. If you watch the fight at the weekend, the McGregor thing, if you watch it near the end, he's leaving his hands on the mat and he's not defending his neck. And that's the stuff you get taught in your first jiu-jitsu class. It's like he's had enough. And the Russian boy brought that up, saying he's done this before. He quits, he mentally breaks, but that's a thing. So when we're prepping fighters here, we're like, right, you can either beat this guy physically or you can beat him mentally. And the way to beat him mentally is just, we refer to it as he's breaking. Like, he's not want to be there anymore, so he takes an out. And that's the high end fighting. That's more important than the physical stuff, because they're very similar physically. But it's that I don't want to be here anymore. I'll weave my arm or I'll weave my neck. Most guys will not weave their chin up or anything like that, but they'll give you a submission, or they'll just stop fighting. They'll get into a almost like survival mode where they'll just hug and they'll hang on at the bottom, just keep an eye on the clock. It's only 15 minutes, I've got 5 minutes left, and then I'll be back in the changing room type of thing.
How do you see the guys that have come through, like Stevie and that you were talking about? How did you pick or realise these guys that could maybe kind of take it a bit further? Do you look for that mental side? Can you see that in them, or is it down to athleticism?
I can see it in the gym. Like, the way once they come through the regular classes and start doing the fight team sessions, they're challenging, they're tough, and you can see the guys who they maybe like the idea of being a fighter. They like the idea of maybe having videos on YouTube or having their pals go and watch them. But you can see the guys who it isn't for them. You can see them breaking. You see if they break in the gym, they're going to break on the night. Like, of course. So, but everybody has wee wobbles in the gym. Like, and usually, like, if I see somebody, like, I know, like, see if I see Stevie having a wobble after it, I'll be like, you alright? And everyone alright at home, kids alright, but I'm like, right, I've got this on my mind, and we'll thrash it out. And I'm like, right, that has to, you can't control that. You need to let it go. Look, this is what we need to deal with. But you can see it. There's a process in the gym where, see the guys that fight in here, anybody who represents the team or who represents me, they've been tried and tested in the gym. So nobody ever comes here and mentally breaks on the night. They might underperform, they might get outclassed, well, not outclassed, they might get beat, but no, they'll never break it. They've been tested a wee bit. You just keep pushing them a wee bit and a wee bit more and a wee bit more. Not like try to kill them, just maybe like adding an extra minute or two on that round when they want to give up. Maybe they're going to gear up now. I'll just stop that timer and see where the mayday type of thing. But if you're smart with the process in the gym, it means that you can have confidence in the fighter, and then when the coaches get confidence in the fighter has confidence in the coach. And we always refer to trust in the process. We refer to it as, so it's like you're doing the same training as these guys who are winning fights in the UFC. You've got an amateur fighting Grangemouth in 2 weeks. So do you know what I mean? You should be confident, but you can see it. And then there's some people like the fake injury. Like, oh, I've done this, and I'm like, I've seen you, nothing happened there. Or the big one is, he kicked me in the balls, and you're like, he kicked you in the knee, I've seen it kick. You're just like,
some size of balls, big man.
Tuck them up, but there's nothing there. You're just taking an out. You don't want, you're not comfortable. This isn't for you. It's like, which is fine because it's not for everybody. But there's other avenues for you to go. Like you can do jiu-jitsu, you can do MMA even. You just don't need to be going in a cage in a pair of shorts with some guy who might be wanting to kill you. You don't need that. There's a lot of pressure. Just enjoy what you're doing and get better at martial arts and you'll be fine.
How difficult is that to manage, in a sense of, like, if you've got fighters at the highest level like Stevie Ray, even yourself back in the day when you were fighting pro, when you're winning, but when you're losing, like, it's the crowd and the fans have got a lot to do with that, because they'll, it's the same in football as well. Love you when you're winning, and then you get nothing if you lose. And how does that affect a fighter? How do you get back to, it's
tough. It's a weird thing, because everything you love about MMA is the element of fatality. Like, you're always one move away from getting beat, and then that's why you like watching it, because you zig instead of zag, you're done. And then as a fighter, there's nothing like it in terms of, see, when you win, it's incredible. That it's the highest high. Everybody who talks about it's the highest high. See, the lows are absolutely soul destroying. They crush you. Like the first, I mind being about 21 or 22, I still lived in Lanark, and I hadn't lost a kickboxing fight or a Thai fight. I'd come through all those MMA fights. I'd just been running through people as well. I don't know if it was panic or just no fight. The guys weren't that great back then either, to be fair. But I think it was my 5th pro fight, and this Irish kid came over, and we were fighting in Motherwell Civic Centre, and we beat the shit out of each other. And at one point I dropped him and he fell and bounced on the ropes, and I was like, he's done, he's get back up, and it beat me. I can mind going back home to Waverley Drive in Lanark, and I phoned in. I was working in Tesco's at the time, going through uni, and I phoned in sick and just stayed in the house for like 2 weeks.
Right.
I just didn't want to move. I was like, just lying on, I didn't have music on, I was lying on the floor and just look at the ceiling. What the fuck was that? I was like, that's not meant to happen to me. I've done all this work, I never cut a single corner, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it took me a while to get my head around it, but it was crushing at the time. I was like, I'm done with this. I can mind being back in the change room, like, and nobody understood what was going on. I was like, fucking hell, I wasn't even that worried about the people that seemed there. My dad was there and all that. There was like 1,500 people at that show. I wasn't even like worried about it. I was like, I can't believe that's happened to me. I've worked so hard for this, and this dude's took it away from me. And it came out at first. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not fucking doing that ever again. And then after a couple of weeks, a couple of my mates came and seen us, and like, this will propel you forward. If you're looking at it wrong, like, so what have you lost? You still got in there. You beat all the guys in Scotland. You beat the guys in England. To bring this Irish guy over who's killing it there. He's a champion. You get your shit together, get back in, and then eventually my coach came and seen me, and he's like, "This is what happens." He had fought before. He'd won and lost, and we went air it a wee bit, and then it was a wee bit of a rebuilding phase. I went getting the confidence back, and then the next time I went out and fought and won, and it's all back to, this is great, I'm going to fucking do this and that, and you forget about the loss. But there's no middle ground with it. It's not like any other sport where there's no really ever a draw. Occasionally you'll get a draw. Not that often. There's no a team to hide behind. It's you and your fucking pants in front of all these drunk nut jobs and some other guy in his pants try to kill you. So it's not like sometimes I'm like, that's not even really a sport, really.
I was going to say when you describe it like that.
It's the pants that always stressed me out, to be honest. It's like, you need to give it a wee pull before you go on that. I suppose you've got like
big
your
groin guard on.
That's wild. So, how many losses did you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I had one under Thai boxing rules. I fought a Thai for a ISK world title. He stopped me with a cut, which I wasn't that fussed about that one, to be fair. I never had this guy had 300 fights, and I'd been fighting MMA and came back to Thai, and I'd only really had 12 Thai fights, but it was an opportunity for me to test myself against this guy who's a monster. He was very good. The MMA fights, I never lost as an amateur, so I've had 9 losses as a pro, 19 wins and 2 draws. A couple of the losses were, you could argue, a couple of them I genuinely got beat. Like I deserved to get beat. The other guy was better than me. 1 or 2, maybe the judges could have swung it in my favour and stuff, but the losses never really got easier to take, to be honest. I got over them quicker, if anything, but it was still more a case of, right, I need to get back to the drawing board after a while. Whereas the first time I was like, I'm not doing that ever again, and later on it's like, I need to fix this. This is how I lost. I can address that. It was never a mentality thing. There was once or twice in fights I felt like quitting, and I can mind having like an internal dialogue with myself, like, don't you fucking dare, like don't bother, like you can't do it. If you do it, you're never done. Don't even bother training again if you quit. And getting angry at myself, do you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck you, fucking better. Like,
fighting yourself in it, man.
Yeah, and then fighting back, and then like, when I did get beat, it was generally the guy had caught me with a technique. I never get knocked out at all. I get submitted a couple of times when I was learning jiu-jitsu against better grapplers. Again, we were talking about that. The fatality in me, I made a mistake and get caught sometimes, and then I'd maybe 5 fights that could have went either way with the judges. But
that always like baffles me. Yes, you see it more in boxing probably than MMA, certainly from what I've seen. But see, if you're watching a fight and you think, no way, that geezer has lost that. Yeah. That must like absolutely do your head in. I couldn't handle that.
It's tough. It was never that bad for me compared to, like, for example, with Stevie's last fight in London, he fought a guy called Cajun Johnson, who's a good fighter. Cajun. It was a super close fight.
Cajun, his name.
Yeah, super close fight, and at the end of it, I'm like, Stevie's won 2 rounds to 1. We've won. All happy, and Stevie hadn't fought in a while. It was his first fight back and stuff, so we're all happy. And then the judges scored it to the other guy. The difference with him is when Stevie doesn't, the judges score that to the other guy. With the UFC, you get a check for turning up. So Stevie gets X number of thousands of pounds for turning up, and then if he wins, he gets the same again. So it's a lot of money, and that's how he provides for his family. So when the judges screw him out of this, he goes home with 1 check instead of 2. He goes home with half a paycheck, right? So there's more on the line for him.
Is that under UFC, sorry?
Yeah. The pressure, there's some in the other organisations do the same, but it's not they initially implemented this to try and get guys to fight harder for wins, but it backfired, and you started getting guys not trying to fight, they just wanted to get the points win, so they'd fight negatively. And this guy ran away for Stevie for large spells of the fight. Would hit him and then run away, hit him and run away, and then Stevie would land a couple and then take him down. And at the time, I'm like, there's definitely 2 rounds to 1. We've got this. And then you're like, fuck that guy. Stevie's going home with like the equivalent of what most guys get paid for a year. He's just been robbed of that because of this. These 2 judges who have seen it another way. Yeah.
So what's Stevie like if he takes a loss? Was it the same as how you felt when you would lose? Is it tougher for him because MMA's become such a global sensation now? He's fighting on the biggest stage.
He's took some better than others. The Felder fight in Glasgow, he didn't want to do that fight. I think the allure of fighting in the Hydro, there's only been 2 of those shows. And then the first time they came to Glasgow, Stevie knocked out a Brazilian guy. It was incredible. It was like one of the best nights we've had as a gym in for him as a fighter. And then they've offered him this guy that if Stevie had beat him, it'd have pushed him into the top 10 rankings in the world. But he had some issues going on outside of the gym that was distracting him. And I don't think, to be honest, he wanted to do the fight, but he's signed the contract, so he's been obliged to do it. And then he's obviously thinking about, if I win this fight, I get this amount of money. And then the other thing that happens with the UFC is if you win this fight, and next time you fight, you get paid more. So your purses keep going up, like in incremental like jumps. So he started maybe thinking a wee bit too much about that, and he wasn't there on the night. He made a technical mistake, but it was the first time I've seen him backstage in the change room, and he was like happy he wasn't in the cage anymore. Whereas normally when he loses, you can see him, he's like slumps into his cell. And when you win a fight, it's like everybody's in the change room, your phone goes mad, everybody's like, you're the man. See when you lose, it's me and him. Like everybody fucks off and leaves us, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I've lost. And then it's like, everything you try and say to him's cliche as fuck. You're like, oh, we'll get it next time, we'll go away and we'll get better. And you're just like I don't know what to say, man, but let's not make any rash decisions. Let's go get some pizza or whatever. We'll take a couple of days and then we'll get back to it. But it's so, those losses are absolutely crushing it. It's horrible. Do you find
it becomes hard to juggle at that kind of level when you've got to that stage where you think, this is my entire career now? Does it become... but it becomes hard to juggle between this is money and this is my love for the sport. So that when you start thinking about this is how I provide for my family, that overtakes maybe the love of the sport and fighting, and that's where it starts to maybe go a bit tits up.
I think when Stevie's at his best, he's enjoying training. He just wants to train and go out and stuff. Now that Stevie's got 3 kids, he's a young lad as well, he's 26. He's got 3 kids, he's got a mortgage and stuff. Stuff that the money he's made for fighting's providing. But there's definitely more pressure on him now. It has become a job for him. It's like, whereas before, when we were coming up and he wasn't getting paid that much, he was relying on his sponsors. He was still working part-time. He was doing it for the love of the sport and to get better and to see how far he could go. But 100% now it's his career now. And he's aware of it, so he knows that there's a limited time for him to make as much money as possible, because you can only do it for so long. But the pressures are completely different. It's not the same as if you're maybe only getting paid £500. It's like, I made £500 tonight, that's cool, I'll buy some trainers or whatever.
How much do you think affects like this whole Conor McGregor thing, where it's like I don't know if you want to say it's becoming a bit WWE with the character playing? How difficult is that for guys? Do they feel as if they need to carve out their own niche of a guy to become popular, regardless of the fighting, or feel that they need to go out there and have a total barn burner for,
a lot of young guys are copying him, which is definitely not the right approach. See, I know Conor, I'm actually really friendly with his coach, John. We've got quite a long history together. He used to come over to Scotland quite a lot. He cornered me when I was fighting in Ireland. Right. I've cornered a couple of his fighters when they've been fighting when I've been there. He'd done a message for the gym for the opening day, actually.
So I seen it. It was great.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was in Vegas with Conor at the time, the week of the fight, and left us a message. But see what you see with Conor, that's him. He's always been like that, even when he wasn't getting paid that much. That's just the way he is. Like, it's 100% he's being real. I
actually watched the recent Joe Rogan podcast that John Cavan had done. And that's exactly what he said. He's like, that's who he's always been. It's not a character he's playing. That's who he is, and that's who.
It's really natural. That's just exactly who he is.
That's why he's likeable. You shouldn't like a guy like that, but because it is authentic.
But again, like we were saying, like the ups and downs. It's like when Conor McGregor was up and comer, folk were loving him, loving the talk, and he was knocking guys out, and he was winning fights. Now that he's at the height of success, people just want to hate him. That seems to be full circle again, and you're like that. Why? Just because I don't get it, but that happens all the time in every sport, and it's
like music as well. Like when a band gets too big, I liked them and they were wee, don't like them anymore.
Do you know
what I mean? That does my head in.
But what was another thing I was going to ask you? Because it's obviously quite important, especially mental health. So you obviously train guys how to mentally prepare. See, now that the aspect of mental health is right out in the open, do you find that you're having to deal with that on a more day-to-day basis as well? Because it's like, I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. I've used this word in our podcast as well. Is mental health, is it becoming an epidemic now? is it more widespread than it's always been, or is it just more out in the open now, that kind of way? Because I think what I'm trying to say is, do you feel as if you need to look after fighters more with all the recent tragedies that are happening, the likes of like Scott Hutchinson and Frightened Rabbit and all these guys that are in the news that taking their own lives and stuff like that? Do you see that affecting guys in the gym?
Yeah, I not so much the fighters. Like I was saying earlier, by the time guys get to fighting for us, mentally they're pretty good. They'll have bits and pieces and they'll have stuff going on, but normally they're right. But generally, epidemic's a good word for that. My 12-year-old's going on about having anxiety and stuff like that, and I'm like, when I was 12-year-old, I didn't know what that word was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's saying it, and his mom's letting him stay off school and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, are you doing that to get a day off school?
Aye.
I was like, what do you mean you're anxious? I'm like, anxious about what? I've got a French exam, and I'm like, I don't think that's anxiety, Rory. I think it's just I want to do the work. But it's definitely more open, I think, which is probably a good thing.
I think so, 100%. I mean, partly what I'm trying to kind of do with this, it's a bit of self-therapy for me, because I've struggled a lot, especially in my 20s, and feel like I lost a lot of time to be happy and stuff like that. And I think one of the reasons is it's especially in young men, they're scared to open up because they don't want to seem weak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People say that it's good to be vulnerable. Aye, in a sense, but I don't like using the word vulnerable because that incites weakness.
Yeah. I
would rather be, like, for example, my wee boy's nearly 4. I want him to look up to me and see that I'm that pillar of strength.
Yeah.
But I want him to be able to see that I'm totally open and transparent. Maybe that's a better word for it, being transparent.
Yeah.
To say that if I'm not feeling great or something's affecting me, I can still be strong. I can still have that mentality in me, but I can let people know how I'm feeling, what I need to change, so that when he grows up, he's not going to bottle stuff up inside him. Do you know? I think that's super important in this day and age, especially when we're seeing people are all smiles until they're behind closed doors. You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. I have the same with my kid. With Rory, I'm like, I obviously want him to think that you're handling everything and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm quick to talk to him and say, look, I'm having a shit day today. I'm like, I'm worried about that. When I was setting this place up, do you know what I mean? I was like, this could go really bad for me. Do you know what I mean? There's a risk here, and I've run it past him and let him know. And I expect the same back for him. I was like, look, it's alright if something's bothering you, like that's going to happen. That's part of being alive or whatever. So I think transparent probably is a better word. You, in order to be strong, you're going to have to be weak sometimes as well. Like, nobody's 100% one way. Like, do you know what I mean? It's try to find that wee balance and stuff.
It's a funny one. It's obviously it's a bit of a sexy topic for now, mental health, and everybody likes to. I mean, I'm on obviously your general social media, Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot. Everybody likes to be an advocate of it when it's like, for example, today, mental health awareness. But they might like say something that's really pro help towards it, and then a few days later they're ripping somebody. It's weird. It's like
fashionable.
Aye, it is. It's totally fashionable.
I think it's so easy to say that, but no one's actually going out and positively try to make a difference. It's great that people are professionals and stuff. I mean, I've went to try and see a counsellor once, and I sat for 20 minutes and thought, this isn't for me. And what I'm trying to kind of get to a stage is where people are happy to phone their pals or talk to their pals and say, not in a kind of spill their heart out so that your mates are like, oh fuck, here he goes again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But in a sense of, right, I've had a really shit day, because the chances are probably if I was talking to you about it, you would have a similar experience, or you would have a similar experience, and you can sit and you can talk about it, and actually it makes you feel, I don't feel half as bad, because we can all relate in that kind of sense, rather than having to feel like, I guess when you see all these campaigns for mental health and professionals, like, I think if you go and see a professional, I almost kind of felt like I've got a serious problem. And maybe I did, but I didn't want it to feel like that. Yeah. Because I don't think it doesn't need to be as serious as it because if you just open up to your pals and your close family and friends, then chances are it can make it a hell of a lot better. Yeah.
I found that whenever I had any issues, it was like, there's a couple of times like where you're like, I'm never getting out of this, it's never ending, it's spiralling downwards, and then all it would maybe take is one of my pals to phone me. Do you know what I mean? And what's happening. And this was like maybe in my early 20s and stuff. So I'm really conscious now, maybe checking in on people. Do you know, like there's some guys I've got pals scattered all over the place because I've moved about. But if I know something's not right with them, I'll phone them. And I'll be like, what's happening? Come and see the new gym. Do you want to train a wee bit? Let's maybe take a dog a walk, or do you know what I mean? Just check in them and let them know. And a lot of the guys I get in here now, because I'm a bit older now, I've done stuff. I've got kids. I've been married. I've been divorced. Do you know what I mean? I've been through. I've had my dad die, and I grew up with like my dad had a drink problem. My mum's remarried. I've got life experience with stuff that when guys come in, I can relate to them and stuff like that. But I think just that. See if you just check in on people, make sure they're all right. You can see, even if they're absolutely fine, check in on them anyway. It's not going to be a bad thing, and just let them know like you're thinking about them. Do you know what I mean? Like it sounds kind of daft, but
I think that's massive. Like
I think it's just people are suspicious in it. Do you know what I mean? Like when people go, all right,
you heard something?
That kind of way. It's just that. Whereas we just need to kind of drop that guard, so to speak. Yes.
I mean, I've personally got like probably my main group of friends there. They're all quite happy-go-lucky. Like, obviously, we'll just slag each other for days. But I can't talk to my mates about anything. Yep. They're like, see if you see anything like kind of negative or whatever, they're like, fuck's sake, shut up and that. Like, so there's a couple of pals. I've got a few different groups of friends, kind of like what you were saying. But there's some pals would go to about that, and some pals I just wouldn't. But when you are going through some tough shit or whatever you do, it's harder and harder to talk to anybody about it.
Yeah.
And it's easy for everybody because you've always got a happy face on or that. They just think, he's sound. But I think checking in, it's so important. I know quite a few guys that kind of struggle with stuff, and you think you have to check in. But I think one thing I was going to say as well, like, I feel as if it's only just mental health is only just really kind of pushed to the surface now. Like, so if you think maybe, see when I was a wee guy at school, even kind of looking at subjects like people coming out, people being gay or whatever, it was massive. Like, it was huge. Nowadays, I don't have any kids personally, but I've spoke to folk and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to Steve and Davey's wedding the night," and the boys the kids wouldn't ask a question about it.
Yeah.
If you'd done that back in my day, that would have like been crazy. Do you know what I mean? So I think the fact that that's come to the surface, hopefully, just the same in that sense, in 20 years' time, folk will know thinking it's no like a stigma or whatever, and it'll just
I hope
be
so,
acceptable or whatever.
Because that's the scary thing now. There's just so many people just going out and doing themselves in.
It's horrific.
And that's the scary thing about it, more so than ever before. And again, is that maybe a factor because this is now open up and people think, oh, do you know what, I can, if I'm at that low, I can just go and do it, whereas before, you were just kind of scared to even contemplate doing it. That generational thing, like, because I can mind coming back from school one day and getting jumped by like 4 guys and get my head bounced off the pavement and going home, big fucking lump in my head, crying and all that. And my mum's like, that, phone the police. And my dad's like, where were you going? So I was just going up to my pals. He's like, right, back out there again then. That kind of way, as if just toughing yourself. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Half concussed and all that. But I did think I lift up to my pal's house, and that was just the thing that you get told today. Go out there and handle yourself.
It is. I mean, that is the old way. Just fucking man up, wee man.
Aye,
like,
exactly.
It is. I mean, I don't know, such a taboo subject, but I mean, there's a few folk, I've kind of worked in recruitment, so I've seen the HR kind of perspective from it, and like, say there's somebody off work because they're really, really toiling and that, and you can see they're toiling when they're in work, and as soon as they'll maybe put a post up and them being at a gig or that, because obviously they need to try and let off some steam, and then everybody will be talking about it and work or that. They were at fucking Slipknot last night or whatever, but
I guess it's hard to filter through all the shite as well. That's another problem, because again, maybe people are more adverse to talking about stuff if they've got stuff in their mind, because there's too many people that are just happy to jump on Facebook and say, asterisk, sigh, asterisk, and go,
Yeah,
what's
there is
up,
bandwagon jump.
what's up, hun, PM me, that kind of shit, and you're
Don't
just
want to
like,
talk about on here.
that kind of
Slide into
stuff.
my
But
DMs.
it's scary with everything that's happening, and especially to younger and younger kids, you know, like probably kids the ages with your son. That's the scary part of it, and I guess that's why it's important, especially with gyms like these. There's almost like that, I hasten to use the word brotherhood, but there's that camaraderie with everybody, and I guess everybody will rally around, and you can have that kind of source of friendship and somebody to come on a regular basis to really, as you say, fucking thrash it out. But if you've got something in your mind, and that's got to be one of the best, because say exercise in general is great for it, but especially coming here,
I think any kind of exercise is going to work, whether it's football or rugby. My boy doesn't really do much. He's not into martial arts too much. He does bits and pieces, but he whatever I got for martial arts as a kid, he's getting for football. He's socialise and he feels better about himself. I think exercise is a massive thing. Just getting up and getting it. Do you know what I mean? Getting out your room. I've seen a thing recently, and I can't remember who it was. But it was saying like, get up and make your bed, and you've done something positive to start the day. And I never make my bed, but seeing like the last maybe year, I'll get up and Lindsay's like, why the fuck are you making the bed? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I need to make the bed, and then it's like, right, you're already on a good foot. Do you know what I mean? You've not just got up and slumped fucking to the toilet or whatever. I've made the bed, right? That's positive, right? Let's do the next thing, get breakfast, and go to work. But it's I don't know if it's like natural for people to. It's easy to be negative. Do you know what I mean? It's really natural just to be like, this is fucking terrible. I can't go on. It's hard. It's blah blah blah. And it takes an effort to be the other way. Like, this is cool. I'll get through this. I'll deal with this. I'm going to do this. And it's very weird. It's like, I don't know if it's even a Scottish thing. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
absolutely. I think it is.
To an extent,
100%.
we are so fucking negative. And it's everything. It's just patter. It is patter, but a Scottish patter is negative, and that's what's funny. So therefore, obviously, that's going to start to resonate or whatever.
It does, but it gets to the point where, especially with me, and I look back now in my late 30s and go, how much of my fucking life has been wasted just because of this? Do you know? And I'm like, that fucking hell. And that's where that's where I draw the line. Can I think, right,
that's done.
Aye,
fuck
I
it.
need to turn this corner and fucking. I mean, I've mentioned before, I still hold on to a lot of shite, and it'll take me a long time to let that go. But I always said what I don't want it to let it affect is the way I behave. Because it did for a long time. I would be.
If you let that happen, the guys are still winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck those guys. Like, if they're done, they can go and whatever they're up to. I hope they're happy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, they're no affecting my life fucking 20 years later because they were bullying me at school because I turned up wearing a Celtic top. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, fucking beat it. But it's really easy to be super negative. I think it's just it's an effort to be like, right, fucking focus the day we're on. We're positive.
Aye, I mean, I ran into one of the guys I seen who's new, a completely obese, ugly guy that delivers Indians. That was kind of all the. That's all I needed to know. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of like, okay, I'm glad you're doing well.
Big up to the skinny guys delivering Indians.
Definitely.
But do you know? I guess there you go. That's probably me being part of the problem there. But it was good at the time.
I think definitely need to, with that kind of stuff, be like, karma gets everybody in the end.
Aye,
you know what I mean?
Karma.
Yeah, karma. This guy's case.
So, man. This is interesting. This is the first podcast I've obviously done of something I've always kind of wanted to do on that. So it's been obviously cool to kind of chat, certainly, for sure. I just think everybody relates to that same issue. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what walk of life. Everybody can come together and discuss that. And I think you'll obviously see, like we've spoke about during this, a massive amount of people from all walks of life. Everybody's got some. Do you know what I mean? To some degree, like, and everybody's handling it to some degree or not handling it, and it's on a variable scale. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get guys in and everyone's going good, and then some wee setback and fuck, the world's going to end, and I'm done with this, I'm done with that, and you need to just. This is life, do you know what I mean? Like that Buddhist time, life is suffering. And then the other thing is, I always harp on about this, like everybody going on about life not being fair, but
I'm like, it is fair because it's fucking unfair to everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's a level playing field.
It's consistent, aye.
It's shite. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking get on with it. But it's really easy to be negative and stuff like that, I think, and it's also easy not to check in on your pals and maybe be aware that everybody's going through something. Like everybody's got something going on, and it might seem like a wee thing to you, but to them, do you know what? To them, it could be massive.
Well, that's it. There's that cliche in it. There's a cliche that says everybody's fighting a battle, and everybody's fighting their own battles. And I think everybody needs to realise that more. And as soon as we do, I think the fucking world in general will be a better place.
Nicer to people, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. I think social media's changed everything as well. Just because everybody posts their best version of themselves and that, and then you're sitting, maybe if you're having a bit of crap time, and you see wee fucking Davey having an absolute magic time, you're like, fucking hell, Davey,
fuck
man.
You, Davey.
He's always having a good time. But Davey's probably dying inside like everybody else, man.
I get that in here, get like guy out for dinner with his wife or whatever, all lovey-dovey, and then next day he's like, oh, fucking bitch last night, do you know what I mean? Fucking dragging me out for dinner and I wanted to watch Match of the Day and stuff, and you're like, alright, we'll fire it on Facebook and let everybody think everyone's good then.
Exactly. So, I mean, you've always been an advocate of making everybody feel comfortable if they came to the gym.
Yeah.
So, if you had to say, if somebody's interested in coming to higher level and training, regardless of their age, whether it be their kids or be it training themselves, from teenagers to their early 20s or, you know, even older, like I think you said, you get guys up to ages of 65 or something like that?
Yeah, like 60 plus,
So, what would your suggestion be? Just come along and just get tore in? Not
even just here. Just see if you find like a decent martial arts gym or whatever, yoga or something, Pilates, anything where go in and get a feel for the place. See if the guys, they're friendly and approachable and they're actually interested, and you'll not try to sign you up for shit straight away and sell you stuff. You get positivity through that. But any kind of pursuit in general is going to be good for you. There's nothing bad's going to happen to you trying that. If you go in and get unfortunately there's bad places out there who are in it to make money, or they've not got a clue what they're doing, or when back to responsibility, they don't realise the impact they're having on people's life with that hour. Like, you can fucking make their life a lot happier and better, which in turn they'll get home and they'll be nicer to their wife and their kids, and it snowballs. So a lot of guys taking pursuits like that or classes and stuff aren't aware of that, the impact they've got on people. But when you find somebody who does, it's like, go to them and it'll, like, you'll get it back. It's like what I was saying about karma, they get it and you'll get it back.
I think this gym attests to that. Do you know what I mean? I think you've came leaps and bounds from when you first started, and from those who train recreationally up to the guys that are fighting on the world stage. That's all down to you and the guys that have come through the gym, the guys that coach with you. So it goes without saying that well done to yourself and those guys, and I'm glad that you've got that approach essentially with the mental health side of things. I'm glad that you can work with guys, doesn't matter what age they are, and realise that there are issues at home and deal with that. It's hugely important, and it's really great to hear, because as I said before, there might be guys out there that just think that they really want to come to a martial arts gym, but they're terrified of doing so because they think they might be judged or whatever reason. But the important thing is that couldn't be further from the truth, and I can let them know that I was in that same position, and I'm glad that I took that step through the door, and I hope a lot more people do so as well. So
you also took the step through the door and got leathered by the guy.
I got leathered by the
dojo man. So if you could tell us what that gym is, another one that sent the guy in for 1 minute of 14 or something like that. I'll avoid them. We'll
do that off camera and it's not recording. But no, mate, listen, I can't thank you enough for agreeing to do this. It's been excellent chatting to you.
Thanks, man.
And honestly, I hope we can do it again sometime, because it's been fun.
Yep, anytime will be cool.
Nice one. James, thanks very much, mate.
Right, good luck with it all as well, big man.
Thanks, man.
Cheers,
thank you.